All right, we're going to look at finding difference of squares. So a little bit of a review, but let's look first at if I'm multiplying x plus 7 times x minus 7. So you can do the FOIL method where we did the claw to multiply, or you can use the box. I'm going to use the box for now since it is there. So I'll do x plus 7 and then x negative 7. And I'm just going to multiply through. So my first terms would be x squared. My outside terms, well, we'll do the inside since I wrote it up here. 7 times x is 7x. Negative 7 times x is negative 7x. And negative 7 times positive 7 is negative 49. So your next step is to combine like terms. And so I'm doing x squared plus 7x minus 7x minus 49. So what you should notice is these two, they cancel out. So when I'm combining these like terms here, those two are going to end up canceling each other out. And so I'm just going to get x squared minus 49. And same thing would happen for the next one. If I do 3x negative 5, 3x positive 5, when I multiply that, it's 9x squared, negative 15x, positive 15x, and negative 25. So again, those middle terms are going to cancel out. And I have 9x squared, then minus 25. So if you notice, when we talk about them, these binomials have the same numbers or the same terms, but a different sign in the middle. So what happens is they cancel out the middle terms and just end up with the outside ones. So that gives us the rule of if I'm doing a number or a term plus another term times that same number minus the other same number or term, then I'm going to get a squared minus b squared. That happens every single time. So what happens is when I notice that I've got those like that, x plus 3, x minus 3, I don't have to go through and do all of these steps. I can just say, well, that's a difference of squares, so it'll just be x squared minus 9. And that works the same throughout. But what I really want to look at is what do you do if you've got the opposite? Well, I can kind of work this backwards and say, well, this is something squared minus something squared. So if I take the square root of both of those, what happened is that'd just be x plus 6 times x minus 6. And so we can think about it a couple of different ways. One of the ways would be to say, well, you might think of this as x squared plus 0x minus 36. And then if we do our bigger x here, and say it needs to multiply to negative 36 and add to 0, well, the only thing that does that is going to be a positive 6 and negative 6. So that still works out the same way there. Similar to that one, for 49x squared minus 64, I would take it and do the square root of that. So the square root of 49 is just going to be 7. So 7x minus square root of 64 is 8. So 7x minus 8, 7x plus 8. Then we get to one like this third one, where, well, I can't take the square root of that. So when I can't do difference of squares here, my backup is to see if it will divide by something. So looks like both of those will divide by 2. And when I divide it by 2, remember the 2 doesn't get to go away. It's just going to move out front. That'd be x squared minus 81. So now we're good to go. I've got two things that I could take the square root of. So the 2 is going to stay out front. And I'd have x plus 9 and x minus 9. And that would be my fully factored form. Okay. Doesn't matter if I put the plus at the front or the minus at the front. That doesn't make a difference to me. The important thing is that you've got both of them with the same numbers, opposite sign. Okay. And if you've got one like this here, easiest thing for me to do is say, well, let's just flip those around. Say it's 4 minus h squared. Then it'd just be 2 plus h and 2 minus h. You could also pull out a -1 and kind of have the same effect, but keeping the h in front, either way works. This just, I think it's a little bit simpler. So that's your information on that. You've got assignment to work through on it, so good luck with it.